Okay, welcome to another episode of the KamoKlauZ podcast show, or the KamoKlauZ show, like I called it. So, yeah, the KamoKlauZ show, that's what I'm calling it. So, you guys might be seeing things on my Facebook post about the new Trax Revolution. Well, you are right. I am actually bringing back Trax Revolution from the dead, and I'm bringing it back, but it's going to totally get a brand new facelift. Since I'm a part of Minnesota After Dark and I'm affiliated with a car club called Minnesota After Dark, and since I am an off-road, an ATV, a four-wheeler, like a UTV, a person who likes being in the dirt, being in the mud, who likes going to mud bogs and going to all that kind of stuff, who's looking into getting a Jeep, looking into getting off-road vehicles and working on off-road vehicles, meaning side-by-sides, trophy trucks, Baja trucks, full suspension upgrades, pre-runners, basically taking anything and making it for dirt applications, or for driving, in the dirt, or driving off-road, because that's what Trax Revolution is all about. Trax Revolution is going to be more dirt related. I mean, my dream in life is to open an off-road park, in Minnesota somewhere that has like a big, huge, like off-road, like park. Like you can go up and down hills, you can rock climb, you can do all this kind of stuff. Sell Jeep accessories, sell off-road accessories for, Broncos, Jeeps, FJ Cruisers, mostly Jeeps though, Wranglers and Gladiators, mostly like, a place where Jeep enthusiasts can go in Minnesota. We'll also sell the mat tracks for Jeeps and stuff like that, so we can sell the triangle tracks and stuff like that, because Trax Revolution is going through a total upgrade, a facelift. The old Trax Revolution that you saw was mini works, but I can't get rid of it. I can't delete it off of Facebook. I can't get rid of it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start a new group for Trax Revolution, or a new Facebook page for Trax Revolution, and it's going to be mostly off-road and people who are using their Jeep for things, or FJ Cruisers, or anything like outlanding, going off-road, stuff like that. So Baja, pre-runners, all kinds of stuff, like lifted cars, like cars that have like Baja Beetles or Baja Jeeps or Baja whatever. If you take your vehicle and you go through the mud and you go off-roading and you go out, and you're not just using it as a grocery getter or something that, is used for driving on pavement princesses, or driving, because I say pavement is for pussies. I say pavement is for pussies. Do not drive your vehicle on pavement. If you go off-roading, go off-roading. Like, actually take your Jeep and take your things rock crawling or off-roading or going someplace in the mud. Kick up some mud. Take your truck and go mudding. Don't have these. So there are guys that drive lifted trucks around, St. Cloud and Minnesota, and they drive them all over the place. but they don't have a lick of dirt on them. Well, if you have a truck, get that fucking thing dirty, you know? Don't make it a pavement princess or a grocery getter. Actually take it someplace and go mud bogging with it. Get it freaking caked in mud, you know? Because like I said, pavement is for pussies. Dirt is where it makes it better. Dirt don't hurt, man. So like, coming up in a couple of months, in September, we have the Howe's Mud Bog, you know? We have Howie's Mud Bog up in Nimrod, or we have, you know, the big outdoor mud bash, you know, coming up. And then we have, in July, we have the, you know, off-road nationals, or the truck nationals at ERX. You know? Go out to ERX and go out and see the truck nationals. They actually have a thing called like the Jeep experience or the off-road experience. If you have a Jeep, use your Jeep for what it's worth. Get it dirty. Don't just, you know, drive it around on the highways because, you know, there's so many of them around here. You know, use that thing to find backcountry roads and, you know, places to... There's an app that you can find on your phone that can show you backcountry roads and trails and stuff that you can go Jeep, you know, running on. I mean, I would love to someday, you know, win the lottery and open my own, you know, Jeep facility and have my own rock crawling wall and my own off-road facility where people can go to, you know, drive Jeeps around or drive FJs around or do something. I mean, we're in so much granite around here and, you know, and rocks and everything and, you know, St. Cloud and the Granite City. So why not be able to have something like that? I mean, I know there's a place, I know there used to be like a couple of Jeep parks or off-road parks out by, you know, like down by Wilmer and that kind of area, you know, out by Paynes or by, you know, Paynesville and all that, those kind of places. There used to be some off-road parks out there. I think there's one towards Apple Valley or Appleton or something like that. There's an outdoor ORV park or something. But the one thing that we offer trucks dirty and start hanging out and getting together and, you know, getting muddy. Nothing wrong with getting muddy. No, not at all. To be 100% honest with you, is buying that fucking Mini Cooper. Yeah, I regret buying the Mini Cooper. Because the thing is that I saw the Mini Cooper as an X-rayed Mini Cooper. One of those ones that you see in the desert. If you ever play Forza, you look up the John Cooper Works Edition X-rayed Mini Cooper. That's what I want to do with my Mini Cooper. I want to make it like a desert vehicle. I want to make it like that, but make it like a sleigh. So that's what I want to do. I know you guys probably can't see me, but that's what I do when I do these podcasts is because, one, you can't really see me, so it sounds like I'm on a microphone, but that's what it is. So, basically, here's what I'm saying. The new Trax Revolution, we take the old Trax Revolution, the shit that we started back in the day, and we're bringing back everything Trax Revolution, but it's all going to be off-roading. It's all going to be devoted to getting dirty, to getting in the mud, playing in the dirt, you know, not driving around and showing off our pavement princess little, you know, off-road vehicles. We are going to get muddy. We are going to get dirty. And we are going to get crazy. Because that's what we are. We're rednecks with lifted trucks who like to go out in the mud and get dirty. You know? All my people that have, you know, dirty trucks, more power to you. If you have those lights on your truck and you have the big, you know, tires, but you have blades on them, then you're not driving a lifted truck, bro. You need to get it dirty. I say get your truck dirty and then wash it off at the, you know, at the power washer, or leave the dirt on it. Dirt don't hurt. No. Get the truck dirty. America, you know what I'm saying? So I regret buying my Mini Cooper. I've regretted buying this damn Mini Cooper for so damn long because I had a Tacoma, and I was gonna turn that Tacoma into a trophy truck. I was gonna turn it into a Baja truck is what I was gonna do, because it was only a two-door 4-wheel drive pickup with a manual, and I was gonna turn it into a trophy truck because I love trophy truck racing, which I'm going to ERX July 11th through the 13th, but on July 12th I got a wedding to go to, but on the 11th and the 13th, I'm going trophy truck racing. I'm going to go, find the trophy trucks. I'm going to go do my stuff and get back into trophy truck racing. Now, are you going to see the TracksCast podcast? Yeah, that's going to come back. My YouTube channel for Tracks Revolution is coming back, but it's going to have a lot of dirt and a lot of mud and a lot of everything. So we do have Tracks Revolution. We do have it, but we just don't have a Facebook page yet. So we're going to work on building another Tracks Revolution Facebook page. I'm going to work on bringing it back, but everything on there is going to be car or truck related. We're going to have a group, and then we're going to have the Facebook page. Yeah, so we're going to have Tracks Revolution. We're going to have a group page, and then we're going to have the other one that you see. Well, the other one that's on there is the old Tracks Revolution page, which I can't get rid of. It's the business page that's on Facebook Business, which I'm trying to get it, changed or removed or what have you. I have no idea. But the new Tracks Revolution that you see is basically the Tracks Revolution that I owned for almost 29 years, which now is our almost 30th anniversary, because I've looked back on the history dates of everything when Tracks Revolution started, and it's been 30 years. It has literally been 30 years since we had Tracks Revolution when I started it, because I started it back a long time ago. Tracks Revolution was started so long ago, but now I'm basically giving it a facelift, and it's going to be everything off-roading, Baja, all sorts of stuff. I've been posting stuff now on my JakKlauZ page that is basically Tracks Revolution related. I mean, I want to go down to Mexico and then come back here at Christmas time just to play Santa Claus. That's what I want to do, because I want to go down to the desert. I want to drive in the desert. I want to live in the desert. I want to live in Sedona, Arizona. I want to talk to Camp Crocker again and start doing things with Jeeps and, doing stuff for Jeep related people, because that's what I want to do. Because I love Jeeps, I love FJs, I love Broncos. I like anything that can be driven in the dirt. Yeah. I wish that they would do a different kind of racing. I watched a racing that they do in Australia, and in Australia they take everyday off-road vehicles like Subaru Brats and like Rangers, like Ford Rangers, and like Toyota Helixes and all these other things. And what they do is they drive them on WRC rally courses. Yeah, I wish they would do that in Minnesota. So basically what you do is, like, how they have WRC racing, like rally car racing, and it's like Ford Fusions and, like Hyundai Velosters and stuff like that. Well, I think they should have that kind of racing. You should be able to do it with like a Ford Ranger, a Jeep, a Suzuki Sidekick, something that has a pre-runner suspension on it, like a Ranger, like a small Mazda pickup truck, like a B2000, like a small Tacoma or a Tundra, yeah, or something that's small, like a 4Runner, or like a 4Runner, like one of those, like small little like Frontier, like Nissan Frontier pickup or whatever. But you know, something like that is small enough to like run on a Baja track, or to run on a WRC track, but small enough to do like trophy truck racing. So like these stadium trucks that you see driving around on, like they drive on IndyCar racing tracks and they hit jumps and everything. Man, if they would do something like that, where you can find side-by-side racing like they used to do when Iron Man Stewart was around, that's the kind of racing that I like. Yeah, just Baja racing. Just, do that down in Mexico. They do it all the time. They do the Baja 1000, Baja 500. They do the core, the championship off-road racing thing. They do it all the time. But basically, what the new Tracks Revolution is all about is about getting your truck dirty. And I'm going to go around and look for dirty freaking vehicles and look for people and say, hey, you want to be a part of Tracks Revolution? If you like to play in the dirt, then you're a part of Tracks Revolution. I'm making dirt great again. Let's make dirt America great again. Let's make America dirty. How about that? I'll tell you right now, making America dirty. That's what Tracks Revolution's all about. Now, if you have mat tracks on your truck, or you have mat tracks on your Jeep, or you have off-road tires, or whatever, as long as you love going off-roading and getting in the dirt, you're a part of Tracks Revolution. I think you should just think, we're not hoonigans. We're Tracksaholics, bro. Yeah, we're Tracksaholics. You want to be in the dirt? You're a Tracksaholic. Yeah, you want to lay tracks in the dirt? You're a Tracksaholic. That's exactly what I say. I would rather see more people with dirt on their truck and dirt on their face and dirt on everything else. Make America dirty. That's what I say. So I'm trying to bring back something that I started 30 years ago, and now I want to do it for my passion. And my passion has always been dirt. I've always had a passion for it. I've always had a passion, a love for rock crawling, for being around 4x4s. I've always loved 4x4 because the first letter, that I learned how to say was 4x4. I was playing with stompers. Yeah, I was playing with stompers and trucks that were lifted and dirty all the time because I like dirty vehicles. Yeah, I always liked dirt. Reason why I never bought a truck or never bought anything to go off-roading was because all my friends were driving, little shitty-ass street cars, and then it would make my mind go, oh shit, I need to buy a street car because I got to be like them. Then I bought rally cars, and rally cars, for some odd reason, just don't do it. I want you to understand, if you want to come out to my house, you got to have a four-wheel drive to come out to my house. That's how it's got to be, man. And I'm sorry, but that's what Minnesota After Dark made me, was they made me an off-road enthusiast, and that's sure as shit what I'm going to do. Because, yes, I have a Mini Cooper, but I want to turn that thing into something that you'll never freaking imagine. You'll never ever understand it, because one, you're trying to figure out how's a guy who's so fucking big fit in a shitty ass little car like that, and then when he finally drives it around, he actually drives it, to drive it. I drive it on backcountry roads. If I find them, they're nowhere around here. I gotta freaking download an app, that has trails and shit on it. But when I download it, it's made for ATV trails and stuff. So I'm trying to find something more off-roading. But then nobody will take me serious when I'm driving around a Mini Cooper. They're like, oh, why do you want to go on a backcountry road on a Mini Cooper? Well, I'm like, well, dude, I want to find a WRC route. But then I saw this guy on Facebook. He took a Baja Beetle, put a pre-runner suspension on it, and he fucking made it badass. That's what I want to do to my Mini Cooper. Leave it up to a guy down in Mexico to freaking, take a Beetle and put like a Baja Beetle and make it badass. Leave it up to a guy down in Mexico to do that shit. Because that's where all the good desert racing is down in Mexico. I mean, that's where I should be. I mean, everybody tells me, oh, Jack, you're going to go down there, you're going to hate Mexico. I'm going to tell you right now, I would rather be by the desert than, have oceanfront property in Arizona. I would rather have oceanfront property in Arizona than to have, be by the lake or something. But, you can be by the lake here. I love Minnesota and Arizona, I love being in that area, in Mexico and whatever, because that is where I'm supposed to be, is the desert. A lot of people are telling me, Jack, you're stupid for wanting to go down there. No, I'm not. I would like it. My fat ass needs to lose weight anyway. I mean, why not burn off some, problems and bullshit and fat because I'm down a place where it's hotter than balls. I used to live in Virginia, but I liked West Virginia because it was back roads and people living down and getting dirty. That's how it is. When we lived in Georgia, it was people getting dirty. It wasn't people, driving around in a Mustang and a grocery getter, on a Saturday night sitting around with their thumb up their ass. It was somebody who was like, going and finding a greasy fucking backcountry dirt road. We'd go up to the power lines and we'd go driving on these trails that was in the hills up in the power lines, and we would go do it, and then we'd go find a greasy spot and we'd have a bonfire. Somebody needs to have a place where we can have a bonfire, y'all. Shit, I want to be back in the woods, man. I want to be back home. I want to go find a country living spot and stop being in the fucking cities. Back in the woods, man. Nobody does anything when you're back there. They leave you the hell alone. But that's what the new Trax Revolution is all about. Trax Revolution is all about going off-roading. And yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, God damn it, Jack, you've already talked about this shit before. Well, you want to know something? The thing is that back in the day, I tried to do shit, and everybody was like, Jack, we don't have the resources, we don't have the time, we don't have the whatever. Well, I'm sorry, that was then. This is the new us. This is the new Trax Revolution. I'm trying to do shit with my Mini Cooper because I know for a fact that you can put a 4-inch lift kit on. Because I've seen the videos. I can even show you guys what a desert Mini Cooper looks like. And you'll be like, dude, that's not even a Mini Cooper. Well, the thing is it's not. It's a Mini Cooper on top of a fucking, Bronco, or on the top of a fucking, 4-inch lift kit. But the thing is that that's something that I want to do. And, Pretense Fabrication always tells me that we can't do that kind of stuff because it's not logical. Well, you want to know something? Don't ever tell a customer that it's not that way. Do it. Have a dream. Show the person how to do it and help them out. With Trax Revolution, we're going to make your vehicle something that you can take in the desert. I mean, because that's what we want to do. But 90% of the time, that kind of stuff is suspension work. But I'm looking at suspension kits all the time because I want to make it so that you can articulate the hell out of a vehicle. A side-by-side is a hell of a lot more fun when you take it on a backcountry road, not when you're driving it on a highway or when you're driving it on tarmac. Driving is so much more fun when you're on dirt. You guys have no idea what it's like to drive on dirt. Find a dirt country road, go down it one time, and go 100 miles an hour and turn a corner and just drift on a corner. Learn the back roads and find out what you got. You guys drive 120 miles an hour, 90 to 120 miles an hour on interstate. Well, try doing that on a back road once. It's a hell of a lot different. It's like driving on ice. I mean, People sit here and they tell me, they're like, Jack, you're crazy to drive 80, 90 miles an hour on gravel roads. No, you're not. It's fun. It's called making your butthole perk up. That's what it's called. You know, taking your Jeep and, you know, going through like a rock crawling situation and flipping your Jeep over, yeah, that's one thing. But if you're strapped inside your Jeep, it's going to hold you, but you're going to wreck your shit up. But I'd rather wreck my Jeep up by like flipping over on a backcountry road. Well, I don't have a Jeep yet, but I mean, I'll do it someday. But, you know, I'll do it someday. Somebody out there is going to turn around and make my life a little bit better. We all know this. And yes, when I sit here and say that I'm down and shit like that, and I'm having problems, please don't send me the suicide hotline number or the crisis hotline number, because that's not me. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm saying to myself that I'm tired of not having something go my way, meaning that I'm tired of missing out on something because I don't have the money that everybody else gets around here. People have money. People get stuff all the time. But you know what? They just waste it and blow it on all sorts of stupid shit because inflation is so fucking high right now, you can't even do stuff. Yes, I don't like to go out to eat all the time, but sometimes that's the only place that you can go get food because you're always working all the time. I mean, I work until 2 in the morning every day, which is what I do. I start at 4, get done at 2 or 3 o'clock. So there's nothing wrong with that. I like working that late. I like working that late and doing my thing because I have the weekends off and I love doing stuff on the weekends. But the thing is that you can't do that kind of shit because, one, everything that you do, you make, you're turning around and you're trying to pay shit off all the time because everything is so hard to pay for all the time. You work so damn hard, you get nothing for your paycheck. It's fucking ridiculous. The world we live in, you know, everything is so high. It's all the rich people who make 100 figures or who make 6 figures all the time. They're not getting shit, you know, or they're getting shit. They're going out and buying Corvettes and all this other shit and having a good time and whatever. But, you know, I'm not saying that those kind of people are better than we are. No. I'm saying that, you know, things need to start happening for people that want things to start happening for people. And you know what? The only way they can go out and do it is if they fucking just stop fucking helping everybody else out all the time. I mean, I love helping my friends out and everything like that, but I've done it all the time. My friends have done shit for me. You know, they've kept me alive. That's about all they've ever done. But, I mean, I buy them things all the time, and, you know, people just like, hey, Jack, thanks a lot, you're a cool guy, yeah, whatever, you know, but that doesn't really mean they like you. I don't know, I don't care. I don't care if I give my friends money. I don't care if I do stuff for my friends. No. That's what I do, that's my fucking choice. Yes. That's my family, that's my family, that's my life. I do that for everybody. But one of the things that you have to understand is that, look, I don't have anything against Minnesota After Dark. I don't have anything at all. I would like to go find a backcountry road and a greasy spot and take all the people who say that they're off-road enthusiasts, that there are people who love to go off-roading. And I would love them to go down a backcountry road 100 and some miles an hour or 70, 80, 90 miles an hour and just see how they can cope with that road and see how really off-road enthusiasts they are. But if they break their car, then they're going to be mad at me. Yeah. But the thing about being an off-road person is you have to want to do it. And, you know, I don't see that on a lot of groups that I've been a part of. No. Because I just don't see it. It's just not there. It's just that people are just so, like when we have snow here and we go find a greasy parking space and we do snow drifting and we do that kind of stuff, that's cool. You can do that on gravel roads every day. Yeah, you can. It just takes a different kind of vehicle to do it, but it's still fun as hell. Mm-hmm. But I see people all the time. I see people all the time talk about, they go up to Home Furnitures or Elk River, or we go up to where we go to, and they park their car and they sit there, and this is not bashing anybody, okay? I want to make this perfectly fucking clear. This ain't bashing anybody who drives up to Home Furnitures or up to what's it called, but I'll tell you right now, there is not a lick of anybody up there that would love to go mudding or love to go off-roading, because if they would do it, they would. Now, Aaron has a Jeep, right? One of the guys on the group, his name's Aaron. He has a Jeep, but the throwout bearing is bad on it. But he wants to put a Skyline motor in his Jeep, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. That would make it like a 392 Jeep, or it would make it like an off-roading Jeep that's got balls, which would be great, because the way that those wheels would all four spin would basically make that Jeep just fly, because a GTR motor or a 2.6 liter RB26 DETT motor from a Skyline inside of a Jeep would be, first of all, it'd be rare. It'd be one of the rarest swaps we've ever seen. It'd be totally badass, because if the four-wheel drive system would actually work in it, it would be really kick-ass, because it would work. And it would take off if you go mud bogging or running through a mud hole with it, because one, it would be really cool. But you'd also have to have a snorkel system so that it wouldn't collect water in the intake and then ruin the whole entire, engine. Because getting water into the engine sucks. So you'd have to put a snorkel system somewhere high up, and you'd have to make it away from the water. So yeah, you'd have to keep it pretty high up. And a lot of vehicles that have snorkel systems aren't something that's made for, running in the off-road. They run vehicles that are basically, they run engines that can handle that kind of stuff, like an old Chevy motor, or an old, like an older motor can handle all that stuff, But the thing is that there are people out here that have ideas for vehicles that are going to do stuff, but just having a vehicle that you can actually, run through a construction site at night would be like really freaking cool. I remember when I used to have my Dodge pickup truck. I had my Hemi, and there was a road that was closed. There was a road that was closed in Ashburn, Virginia. And I went mud bogging through the back roads, and then there was there was a spot between these Jersey barriers that was just big enough for my truck to get through. I went through it. The whole entire road was freaking dirty. And so when they opened the road the next morning for the ribbon cutting, there was dirt and everything all over the highway. On Ashburn Parkway. Whose truck was that? Mine. So yeah, I got Ashburn Parkway all dirty. And I was happier than hell. I don't live in Virginia anymore. And that was so long ago. But I remember when there was a backcountry road between Ashburn and Chantilly, Virginia, that you could drive down a gravel road, and if you hit it just right, you could get some air off this little hill. And I remember having my WRX, and when I had my WRX, we went down that road, and I jumped it. I jumped my WRX almost 10 feet in the air down a gravel road in Ashburn. But they turned it into a paved road now. They put a bridge in there. They fixed it all up, and it was great. There used to be a gravel road in Alexandria, Minnesota, between KamoKlauZ and it was between KamoKlauZ and Brandon, I think it was. And you go down this road and you hit this sumbitch just right, and you'll fly. Yeah, you'll fly in your car. I hit it once, and damn did I fly, man. Kevin Roman told me never to hit that road, and I did. I flew in my WRX, and I also flew in my Tacoma on that road. And it was fun. And these are like Baja style jumps. It's out of you a little bit, but it puts a little hair on your balls, but it makes you feel like you've done something in your life. It makes you feel like you matter, you know? Because you've gone off-roading and you've done something that you're not, you know, that sitting at home and playing Forza and all that shit will never get you prepared for. You gotta do it just because you gotta do it. When the airbags come out of your fucking car, you just take out your knife and, you know, cut the fucking airbag off after it blows up. I mean, seriously? How about I turn my brights on you, dude? Like, I mean, seriously, you're driving down the fucking road with your brights on. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, turn your fucking brights off, asshole. Yeah, you're fucking welcome. I don't know why the hell you're blinding me. I'm going down the road that says 60 miles an hour because that's what I have to go down. Because we can't speed. We can't, you know, do anything wrong because we're watched by cameras all the time. So I'm not trying to drive 89. You know? But anyway. But no, I went down these roads that, okay, we had a road in Wahpeton. Yeah, we had a train crossing in Wahpeton. That was so much fun. And I hit this train crossing in Wahpeton one time with my WRX. And I launched the car. And I ended up flying down the road, and I had my hands at 10 and 2 away from the airbags, and the freaking airbag came out. Yeah, the airbag came out when I landed on the other side. So what I ended up doing was I ended up hitting the brakes, pulling over to the side, and, you know, having the airbag deployed. Same thing happened to Phil Bruffy. Yeah, Phil Bruffy did this in his Hyundai Tiburon. He ended up going over a bump or something like that, and the airbag came off. But he actually jumped his car. Yeah, he jumped it, and he hit the front end so hard that it was like a 5 mile an hour, like a collision. So the airbag popped out. The The airbag popped out in my knee, or popped out of my WRX, and the bag almost hit me in the face. Good thing I didn't have my thumbs in the right spot, or I probably would have got my thumbs blown off. But yeah, but the airbag popped out in my face, and you know, me being a guy that was a survivalist and an outdoorsman, I had a hatchet in the back of my thing, and I cut the airbag off. Yeah, I cut the airbag out and everything else. Went to school one day, got some wrenches from auto mechanic school, pulled the steering wheel off, put a different steering wheel on. Yeah, put a different steering wheel on. Well, I put the steering wheel back on after I mounted the airbag cover. Yeah, after I cut that all off. Yeah, I basically cut it all off and I never had an airbag again. No, because I cut it out. Yeah, I cut the airbag out. That was in my knee. That was in my WRX. Yeah. Very dark. Well, yeah, it's very dark because the thing is that it's like a podcast, Mark. I mean, I can't turn the lights on. But the one thing that you have to understand is when I was driving my WRX and I landed and the airbag popped out. And when the airbag came out, I mean, it was because the force was so strong. You know, somebody said that I should have broken my springs. Well, when you upgrade your springs to off-roading springs or to rally springs, it doesn't happen like that. When you hit the ground, you hit the ground. And it absorbed the shock. It was that great of a ride. My shocks and my suspension were that strong to keep me from bottoming out in my car. So it was good enough to what I did, and that's what I like about driving off-roading and WRC racing. Because rally car racing, yeah, you jump stuff, but it's not as fun as probably going in the dunes and jumping in sand dunes, you know, and you know, driving in, you know, the sand. I mean, if you ever want to have a lot of fun, go down to Mexico and drive around in the desert. I mean, you know, you'll probably sit there and be like, oh God, the desert's so hot and it's just terrible down here. But you know what? Just go down there and shut up and live it, you know? Have fun. But, so that's what I want to do with the new Trax Revolution. That's what I want to do with everything, is I just want to be more dirt. Like four-wheel truck part stores. I want to do Baja. I want to do, you know, pre-runner trucks. I mean, I want to be around people that want to get dirty. So I'm looking for people in Minnesota that want to get dirty. You know, that want to be a part of, like, you know, like a Bronco club, a Jeep club, you know, that want to represent their shit and go and get dirty. That's what I'm looking for. I like dirty people. Go to Colorado, go to Moab, go to someplace, you know? Go on the West Coast and get fucking dirty. That's what I want to do. Now, Andrew Mella, a good friend of mine, he has a 4Runner. I know he does. I know Andrew Sample, I know you got a Jeep, bro. I know you like getting your Jeep dirty. I know you do. Please tell me you like getting your Jeep dirty. Andrew Mella, I know you like getting your 4Runner dirty. I know you do, because I know you got some balls, and I know you love taking your shit and getting it dirty. So, if you guys are down with the new Trax Revolution, I'll set you up with the group page, and then we'll work on something to getting the Facebook page done, or whatever. But Trax Revolution, everything about it is going to change. We're all going to be in the dirt now. Yeah. We're not going to be pavement princesses. We're not going to fucking have that shit. No. Trax Revolution is all about getting dirty. Off-road, ORV, dirty vehicles. And not porn. So if anybody tries to put porn on my website, I'm going to be pissed. 'Cause I'm tired of that shit too. There's all these stupid people going around putting porn stuff on people's car pages. That has nothing to do with dirt. I mean, yeah, chicks can wash Jeeps if they want to, but, you know, that's fine. But that's not, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting dirty, getting your Jeep and, you know, literally doing something with it where it involves getting dirty. Yes. Get the thing dirty. Be a tracksaholic. Get it dirty. I mean, hoonigans like to get dirty too. Tracksaholic hoonigans. I mean, that's what I like to do. Doonigans, you know? Get dirty. Make America dirty again. That's what I say. Yeah. But nothing against people who want to have a street car or a show car or whatever. But, I mean, you know, that's your lifestyle. That's the way you want to be. So be it. Have fun. But I'm going to be out in the dirt. That's where I'm going to be. I mean, yeah, I'll show up, what's it called, but, you know, I'm probably going to get dirty. I want to get dirty. Yeah, I want to get dirty. I want to get my vehicle dirty. I want to go find a mud spot or a greasy road and just, you know, hit some mud bogs and hit puddles, you know. I want to have a zero offset and some bead locks. That's what I want to have. It's all good, man. You know, people live their lives, their entire lives, and they have a good time, you know. And, like, a friend of mine, Zach, come out, and he told me the other day, he said, you know, he's like, dude, I want a Raptor. And I'm like, all right, what do you want a Raptor for? And he says, well, I want to be able to go, you know, really fast on street. I'm like, you don't get a Raptor to go fast on street. You get a Raptor to go fast through the dirt. And he's like, well, then the truck gets dirty. I'm like, well, that's what it's for. Get the truck dirty. Get dirty. Dirt don't hurt. Any moron can go straight down a road in a 0 to 60 time in 2.3 seconds. I mean, any asshole can do that. Drive on the dirt, man. That's where I want to see more and more trucks. Trucks, Jeeps, SUVs, you know, 4Runners, you know, Grand Cherokees, whatever, you know. Renegades, Gladiators. I want to see those all out in the dirt. That's what I want to see. But I just want you guys to understand that I don't have anything against people who are on the street, but my perspective on life is changing. And I'm going to what I really and truly wanted to make Tracks Revolution when I first started out. So when I first started Tracks Revolution a long, long time ago, Tracks Revolution, to be 100% honest with you, was all about going to the track. We were all about going to race on tracks. Yes. Now, we're all about laying tracks. We're all about getting muddy. Like taking your vehicle and finding a dirt field that's completely caked in mud and just running across it. Yeah. Just find a dirt field and just let that fucker buck. You're laying tracks. That's what I say. Yeah. Dirt don't hurt. Lay tracks. Yeah. Go for it. Live the dream. Well, Mark, that's what I've been trying to do. But every day, I've been trying to get myself out of bullshit. I am trying to change my life over, but there is a certain something that needs to be done before all this can totally happen. And that's, getting my name changed, which I'm waiting for a certain somebody to get some paperwork done. Because once she gets my paperwork done and we get things done, then I can start living my life. But her and I don't have the money right now to get that shit finished, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not bashing her. I haven't said anything bad about her. But we both know that we got to get this shit taken care of. Got to get something going. But anyway, I'm not bashing anybody, so I don't want to hear somebody say that I'm bringing somebody down, because I'm not. I'm talking about my own damn life. I know what I have to do. I have to live my life to the fullest and be fucking happy all the time. And that's what I'm doing. Because I know that people want to experience shit in Minnesota that they can't, that they can do. We have all this beautiful wilderness in Minnesota. Well, let's make it dirty. Let's have fun with it. That's right. Drive your Gladiator. Oh, you gotta get it dirty, man. Get that Gladiator dirty. Get some dirt on that truck. It'll get done, but be patient. Dude, yes, I understand it. I gotta be patient, Mark. I know. I've been patient for the last 1 year and 7 months. I need shit to get done. Because I'm tired of freaking, missing out on my opportunities because someone don't have their shit together. I'm not defamating anybody's character either, but the thing is I'm trying to change my life. And if I can get my life changed, then let me do it. Shit, I've paid my problems off. The only thing that I have left to pay off is an $11,000 car loan that I co-signed for because I wanted to be a nice guy, because I thought I'd be with somebody for the rest of my life. But no, we had separate things in our lives. We were two different people. I ruined her life, and that's what I'm going to fucking stand to it. Because I did. I did ruin her life. She knows that. And every time she keeps holding on to this paperwork, she's ruining mine. So maybe she's doing it to get back at me. I don't fucking know. But I don't care. I'm just going to sit here and keep on being the good little Jack that I always am, because everybody wants me to suck their dick before they get their head out of their ass. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm done being everybody's bitch. Because I'm fucking sick and tired of people looking at me and saying, Jack, it'll get done when it needs to get done. Well, yeah, but God's sitting down here hearing all my prayers and listening to all my stuff, and I'm eating all my vitamins and doing what I got to just to fucking make myself better. But I can't, because somebody else has got me by the balls. And that's not how I like to see it. Yeah, no sucky from this motherfucker. I'm done. Because I'm done. I'm done with it. Everybody sits there and says, Jack, you can't have that kind of an attitude. And you can't say you're done. You know, why not? Why can't Jack get what he wants? You know? Why can't the rise of the Jacksonists fucking happen? Why do I have to have somebody dangle something over my head like a fucking carrot? Because, they're having a problem. I work so fucking hard to try to make my life better for myself. You know why? Because the thing is that I like to do it. Then I put on the Santa suit and I do that kind of stuff for people because you know what? That makes me happy. But people sit there and they say, how can you be a Santa Claus and be mad all the time? I'm like, I'm not trying to be. I'm tired of being ran through the mud. I want to be dirty and I want to just... You just made me laugh. I needed that. Well, yeah, I make everybody laugh. That's what this show is about, dude. It's the naked fucking truth. It's what everybody needs to hear. But the thing is Jack is tired of being, Jack is tired of being drugged through the mud, dragged through everything. I like the mud. I like being dirty. I like getting dirty. But you want to know something? I want to do it for myself. I don't want people to drag me through it. They sit there and they say to me, Jack, you're a guy who likes to be, nice and cool and fun and always be the life of the party. Well, you want to know why? Because the thing is, if I sit back like Eeyore, then I get depressed and down. You want to know something? I want to be like Tigger. Because Tiggers are always happy. Shit, why can't I be a Tigger? Well, we all know why. But the thing is I would love to be happy. I would love to always be happy. Because I don't like being negative. I don't like being a negative Nancy Pelosi. I just don't. Because it's not fun. There's no reason for it. I'm in the ER. And I needed you to give me a pick-me-up. Well, you're welcome, bro. Send me a message, Mark. Steve, what are you doing? Why are you having Mark send you a message? Don't try to get head on my page. The one damn thing that a lot of people don't understand is every time when I have these pages or when I have these things, I'm trying to tell people that, hey, you know what? I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm just a normal, everyday guy who wants to have a podcast and maybe someday, get a little paycheck from it every once in a while. But the thing is I can't because nobody ever takes me serious. I don't have time to sit in front of my computer like all these other kids do all the time on YouTube and everything else because I have to adult. I have to work. We have to go and do stuff and live our lives every freaking day because if we don't, we'll lose our computer. We'll lose our house. You guys live in your fucking parents' basement and you sit there and send boner pill ads to everybody all the time. Stop sending boner pills and ads to people on my freaking podcast. That's a hell of a Bronco. Too bad it needs to get dirty. I'm sorry, y'all. If you drive a Bronco, get it dirty. Take the Bronco off-roading. Go camping with it. Here's what I say to everybody. Ever gone overlanding? Like, you have a camper on top of the roof of your car, or you have a camper and everything, and you want to go trail riding with some friends, and you want to go do shit? Go overlanding, man. Go take your Jeep. Get done with work on Thursday one day, take your Jeep, take the panels off of it, take the hard top off of it or whatever, take the soft top, get yourself a tent. Get yourself a tent from like Walmart or whatever. Buy yourself a tent. Go outdoors. Live outdoors. Go try it once. Get away from everything. Put the fucking cell phone down. Just live your damn life. Breathe. Take the fucking mask off your face and breathe. Yes. Just get out there and see nature. Because if you get out there and see nature and not know what the hell to do with it, then you're never going to fucking enjoy it. Now, if a bear comes up to you, have some bear repellent. Fucking shoot that bear in the face or something. But don't run. No. Just kindly back up and the bear will leave you the fuck alone. Yeah. You're in his neck of the woods. He's just looking for the bare necessities. So that bear can rest at ease. That's all he needs. Yeah, go hiking. Yeah, but you have to take a vehicle that's a 4-wheel drive or something to get you to that spot. Everybody says, well, I have a Subaru. Subarus can only do so much. Get yourself a 4-wheel drive. Something that's got a lift kit on it, and go exploring. Take your vehicle that was called an Explorer and use it for off-roading. Don't use it to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and make you think you're an outdoorsman. Fucking go outside. Chop some wood. I like the vehicles that you've been posting. Those are off-road vehicles, Mark. Those are exactly what you post to drive off-road. Everybody in Minnesota ain't going to do that. Because they think that if they have a vehicle like that, everybody's thinking that they're overcompensating for a small penis. No. It's because they have a small outdoor heart that is so small that they need to take their truck and go off-roading with it. They need to get the fuck out of the house. No one can do anything going down 494. No, you can't. You need to go find the wilderness. You need to go to Yellowstone. You need to go to out in the woods. Experience what it's like to get, okay. Get poison ivy just one time in your life and rub it off with, that poison ivy removal shit. That's how you know you've been in the outdoors. Get bit by a snake or something, My heart's biotic now. Well, I'm glad you're living, bro. Go out and use it. Stop smoking cigarettes. Fucking enjoy your life. God gave you a second chance. He's telling you, you know what? Pray to me and go see the promised land. Go outdoors. Get the fuck off the cell phones. Get the fuck off the tablets. Go live your life. See what nature has. Shit. Trax Revolution. Get off your seat and jacket. Go off-roading. Live your life. Why is this person driving 90 miles an hour in a Charger? Probably because they stole the damn thing. Holy fucking shit, they are flying. Dude, there is somebody going on 494 about 100 miles an hour in front of me. And it's a Challenger. Or it's a Charger. I don't think it's a police car, but it's somebody. And he's flying. Holy shit. Dude, he's flying. My God. He came off the exit ramp faster than, like he had to poop or something. Quit back in February. Well, good for you. I'm not trying to tell you to quit cigarettes or anything. I mean, family members all my life smoke cigarettes and whatever, and I had to deal with that shit all my life, and, I lost family members because of it, and I always thought that, smoking killed my family members, because that's what my parents told me. But the thing is that, maybe it did. Who knows? I just don't understand what people have this feeling about rolling something, putting it between their lips, and smoking it. I mean, you can put it in a bowl. You can smoke it out of a, but like weed and all that other stuff is fine. But, smoking cigarettes is like embalming fluids and shit. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Don't listen to me. Like I said, nobody listen to me because, I'm full of shit and I'm, a person who's never liked cigarettes. I've never liked cigarettes because the reason why is I was hypnotized. So I went to a hypnotist. I went to this guy. I went to this seminar with a friend of mine. I don't remember if it was a friend of mine, but no, I think it was through something else. I can't remember what it was through, but it was through something. And it's Quit Smoking 101. And this guy, it was a personal choice, but my lungs and everything are good. Yes, good, Mark. Way to step up. So, we went to this thing. I went to this seminar on smoking after I stopped smoking cigars and everything together. I decided to go to this thing, because I wanted to go because I just thought it was cool, and I was probably going to pick up chicks. I don't fucking know. I can't remember. But the thing about it is this guy sat me down on a chair. I had a blindfold on. He told me, he said, picture the worst thing going into your mouth. And he said, the first thing that comes to your mind when you see this, and I said that the cigars or anything look like a big black cock going into my mouth. And the guy literally laughed. And he said, that would be a pretty bad thing going in a guy's mouth. Now, maybe a girl on the other end, that's a different story. But a guy. So this guy was like laughing, and he said, now every time you go to put a cigar to your mouth, you're going to see that image. And then he clapped his hands, and that's what happened. But then I finally, I got over it. After a certain number of years, I got over it finally. And I realized to myself that that was pretty nasty. But now, for some odd reason, I have an infatuation to watch big black cock porn for some odd reason. And I don't know why that is. But I'm infatuated by it, and I think it's funny. But I think it's really funny because when you see the girls' faces all the time, when the girl pulls the guy's pants down and this thing just goes, bam, like, comes flying out of their pants, the girl's like, oh my God, that's the biggest dick I've ever seen. Well, I laughed my ass off because when I was a little kid, I used to go, helicopter, 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 and spinning around. And people thought that was funny. And, we always used to do that kind of stuff when we were kids. Never thinking that it would amount to anything funny. But we sure as hell did. And we thought it was hysterical. Yeah, we thought it was the funniest damn thing in the world. Oh shit, we got a cop coming here. I'm going to move over here. We got a cop coming. But it's not coming after me. It's going after somebody else. Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Yeah! Get him! Cops in Minnesota. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Oh yeah! He saw your ass. He knew it was you. Ha ha! You tried to escape going on the exit ramp, motherfucker. Ha ha ha! You're arrested. Ha ha! Yeah! Atta boy! They got you, bad boy! You are a bad boy! Yeah, you wasted! You made the wrong choice in life. You didn't take the red pill, Neo. Bitch! That was awesome. Yeah! I love it. That's America right there. Yeah. Love it when the cops pull somebody over. It gets me hard. Well, they weren't pulling me over because I got the hell out of the way. I was like, shit, I know that guy's going to get arrested. I moved out the cop's way. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I moved out of the way. I saw him. I was like, oh shit, better get over. Blueberries and cherries coming down the road. Bad boys, what you gonna do? So yeah. So getting back to my thing here. So I pictured that, and then finally I got over it, and you know, I finally realized to myself. But then I've noticed that, you know, what is the pleasure that you get out of smoking? I don't really know what it is. Now, weed, on the other hand, if it's straight weed, you feel better about yourself. You feel good about yourself. At least some people do. But smoking cigarettes, though, I don't know. I always used to say, you know, with the prices of cigarettes, if you really and truly, was that the Charger? No, it was actually an SUV. Dude, it was like a SUV police car. It was badass. It was flying. It was the new Ram, or the new Durango, the Durango SUV, the police car. That's what it was. Yeah, it was the Durango SRT. It was an SRT Durango, and it was a police car. It was going by fast as hell. Yeah. Oh God, was it going? And then he floored it, dude. It was so cool. Yeah, it was badass. I heard the supercharger wail on it when it was going by. I was like, it was gone. I was like, but anyway. So, but I've never understood why the price of cigarettes, like, I used to tell people that when you buy cigarettes, and I know this is probably going to get me in trouble with like Philip Morris and everything else, but when you look at the price of cigarettes, just take that kind of money in your pocket and light that shit on fire. Because that's what you're basically doing. You're lighting your money on fire, you know, and you're not getting anything out of it. At least I don't think you are. I don't know what you get out of smoking. I've never understood smoking. I don't understand why it's supposed to stimulate your mind, putting something in your mouth and, you know, sucking, you know, toxins and all this shit into your throat and, you know, making you feel like garbage. I don't know why that is supposed to be like, you know, like aphrodisiac, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm really sorry. I guess I don't fucking know. I'm like, I really don't know. I really have no clue. But I have never understood why people constantly do that kind of stuff. Where they trying to tell people, dude, you can do what you want. You can, you know, do anything to make you feel better. Fine, go do it. I'm going to tell you to live your life. But there's alternatives. You know, there's alternatives. You can smoke what comes out of the ground. It's called weed. I mean, you know, you just roll it up and, you know, they used to smoke it and it was called tobacco. But then they added embalming fluids and all this other shit into it and they called it Marlboros, you know? I mean, I don't know the whole story, okay? I've never really understood cigarettes, but, you know, I guess I'm just not a smoker, so I don't really know the whole thing behind it. So I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to, you know, whatever. It's an addiction. The chemicals they put in cigarettes create... Yeah, that's probably what I thought. Thank you, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is Mark Weber. He is basically a guy that's been working with me my entire life. He knows who I am, and he's basically commenting, weed for life. Yeah, weed for life. If it comes from the earth, if nature don't make it, don't take it. That's my thing. Weed for life. So if it's not from the ground, if it's not from the earth, don't smoke it. So, Mark has been he's been my boy. We've been friends for as long as he's known me at Groom Transportation. He's known me to do this kind of stuff, and he kind of comments every once in a while. I mean, I would put him on the show, but I don't know how well the filming would go, so he just comments. So he comments from the background, but yes, Mark is right. There's chemicals inside the cigarettes that cause an addiction. Now, if you basically buy weed and you turn that into cigarettes because you roll your own or whatever, that's fine. Yeah, that's another way to go. But weed for life, yes, that's what I say. Weed for life, mead for life. I mean, mead is fermented honey. Yeah, mead is what I drink because I don't want to drink alcohol or wine. I drink mead. So I get mead from because that's fermented honey. And I drink that like crazy because I love that kind of stuff. But I haven't smoked any weed for a long time. Somebody says, Jack, you need to start smoking weed. And I'm like, I don't want to. I just choose not to because I'm my own high. I get high on my own life, because I'm just who I am. But you can smoke until it becomes fully legal to where I can't lose my job. Then that's where I'm going to talk about it. But you guys can do whatever you want. Weed for life. Yeah, that's what I say. Good call, Mark. I like that. But so, here's the thing. So, I have nothing against people who smoke. I have nothing against people who do it. But if your apartment complex is a non-smoking apartment complex, don't sit in your fucking bathroom and turn the bathroom fan on and blow smoke downstairs in my bathroom. Because I am sick and tired of that shit. I'm breathing in your secondhand fucking cigarette smoke because you're too goddamn lazy to go outside and smoke a fucking cigarette. So my bathroom in my apartment, Tina, is full of fucking cigarette smoke from the bitches that live above me. I'm fucking tired of it. I've talked to Andrew, and Andrew hasn't done anything, but I'm not mad at Andrew because Andrew's not going to do anything like that. Because it's okay. I don't care. I live my life. And I wish people, in my apartment complex, if they have a package that's not theirs, don't fucking steal somebody's packages. I'm tired of that shit too. Because if I was allowed to cut people's hands off, oh my God, we would never be stealing packages. That's fucking English courage. Yeah. You don't fucking steal people's packages that don't belong to you. So if you got a package from Amazon and it's not yours, then get the fuck off my packages. Never had mead. It's a sweet thing. Is it sweet tasting? Yeah, it's fermented honey. Basically, it's fruits. It's fruits that have been sitting with honey and yeast. Yeah, it's fermented honey with fruits. Yes, it's really good. Just go to a bottle shop and ask for mead. Yeah, just ask them and try it. And if you don't like it, give it to me. I'll drink it. Yeah, because I love it. I use it in juicing, and I use it for my smoothies. Yeah, I make mead smoothies all the time. Yeah, ice cream with mead. Yeah, I'm actually juicing now. Yeah, I mean, cigarette smoke has always made me nauseous, but I don't really care. I just try to pass it up and take it one day at a time. I'm in a fucking apartment they obviously don't know what that fucking means. They think it's okay to keep on smoking, I guess. Because a lot of people don't seem to have any care about anybody else in the apartment complex. They kind of just do shit because they can. I don't know. I mean, if I was a landlord, I'd kick people out if they don't stop doing it after I tell them to, do it like 4 times. But I don't know. I'm not a landlord. Nope. I'm just a guy who lives there and pays rent like everybody else. So yeah, once I get done here at the airport, I'm heading back home, and I'll see what happens. And another person driving without their lights on again. That's always good. It's like people when they rent a car, they don't know how to turn the lights on in the car, and they don't drive. They drive with their headlights off. I don't understand why that doesn't get you pulled over. But as soon as you don't have your headlights on in the groom van, oh, everybody knows it. Turn your goddamn headlights on. Whatever. But one of the things that really chaps my ass and really bothers me, that I'm really getting sick and tired of, is, people nowadays are, not giving a fuck about other people. They have no respect for each other. They just do things for themselves, and you say something about it, and they're like, "Well, stay in your fucking lane, Karen," or or stay in your lane. But sometimes it's common sense, and a lot of people don't have common sense anymore. People who come on your van and you say, "Oh, we don't talk about politics," or "We don't talk about religion," and that's the first thing they do. They talk about politics and religion on your van. And you're like, dude, no. And they keep on doing it. And then they say something about somebody else, and then you say, well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And then they look at you, they go, oh yeah, that's something that a Trump supporter would say. And I'm like, dude, I don't give 2 shits who's in the White House. As long as they're doing their job and they're making people equal. They're bringing equality in the world. That is what we need. We need equality. Yes. We need people to start loving the computer all the time. I mean, I'm doing what I can with what I have, And a lot of people like my show. Some people, really do think that the, Berserker podcast or the KamoKlauZ show is really cool. I hope someday to be as big as Joe Rogan, but if that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. I'm not going to be mad about it. No. But, this world, and we just have to take on for a little bit longer. Because right now we're at about 12:45. I would be doing my final thought for the night, but I'm actually going to go a little bit longer. So I'm going to roll the window down here and turn the van off. And it is hot outside today, but there is a breeze kind of blowing, so we might get a little bit of a crosswind in here. That I'm trying to reach out for people, and I'm trying to say is that there are things that you can do, and you don't have to, some people read, they pick up a book and they read, and they say, well, hey, I'm going to read this book, and I'm going to read like 2 chapters, and then I'm going to put the book down. And then they end up reading the whole entire book. And I think that's cool. I mean, some people say, hey, we can work out. We can go to the gym, we can work out. And we go and we go and we go and we go until we're blue in the face. But then we go home and we eat a cheeseburger. Or we go home and we eat, we go and we do everything that we possibly can. You're welcome, Mark. I like the little emoji. I don't know why you did the little emoji, but that's okay. I'm not going anywhere, so you're welcome. Tonight, and I really do appreciate that. I'm actually glad that he's able to, share with the show tonight, because, I don't really have a lot of people who are on the show with me. I'm actually going to start trying to do shows from my house. I do have my couch back up now, so I like sit downs. People can come over to my house and talk on the couch. You're in my bedroom, and I'm trying to get a curtain to go across. Nobody has any fun there. Oh, don't give me this transmission is unstable due to weak connection. I don't have a weak stream. But sometimes my phone doesn't work, and sometimes it does. But the reason why it is because, my phone acts like a pain in the ass, but I pay for my phone. I tell them that I want the full unlimited, something or another. And they just give me a cheap fucking phone plan because, they're like, well, if you want this and this and this, you have to pay for it. Well, I understand that. Everybody has to pay for something. You can't always get a free hand job every once in a while. It's not how it works, because that's what the world lives in. We live in a thing where you think that everything should be given to you, but it's not anymore, guys. Things are going to start to turn around. You're going to have to start working for shit, because if the national deficit starts going up and up and up, we're fucked. Yeah. But they're also doing things to take care of all this bullshit spending that we've done. Yeah, there's bullshit spending all the time. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we spent so much fucking money on shit fucking things for shit ass fucking, people from different fucking places in this world. Come on. We've spent so much goddamn money on things that we don't fucking need. Well, we don't need to be able to catch a rocket ship every time it comes back in. No, that's fucking cool as shit. And Elon paid for that. That's all Elon's money. That's not our money. That's all Elon. That's not our money. Well, it could be our money, but I bet Elon would tell you that he paid for that himself. But I'm not going to get into a political war about who's got a bigger dick. Nobody cares, okay? People need to start living their lives for themselves. What kind of an apartment is that? I saw you cooking burgers on a cast iron the other day. Yeah, that's my apartment. I have a cast iron grill. I bought that grill from a company called Steelmade, and it goes on top of my oven. Yeah. That is a cast iron grill that I spent... I bought that for like $335. It's fucking worth it. Yeah, it's fucking worth it. Because you turn your burners on and you just clean the grill off and then you go from there. But dude, I made my apartment into a man cave. It's my house. And we're going to try it, and Julie and I are also going to try to make it so that I have a sewing table so I can start doing KamoKlauZ clothing and everything else, because I got a lot of things coming up this week and this weekend. So I'm not doing anything today. Saturday, I'm not doing anything. I'm home all day by myself. I'm going to be sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. I think I'm going to put some cabinets together tomorrow. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go home and put cabinets tomorrow, get them done, clean my apartment, get everything taken care of, and just, maybe go up to B-Dubs tomorrow, but I don't fucking know. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do. Because I have no idea. I'm bored as fuck. And I don't really want to do anything tomorrow because I don't want to drive my Mini Cooper anymore because I hate that car. I only use it for work and home. But I want to do something to it to make it more me. But I also want to get a bigger vehicle too. But that's just because that's me. You know, I don't really know what I'm going to do anymore. I really have no idea. Because I'm just a person who wants to enjoy. Glad you're on tonight. Or the ER would be boring. Well, dude, laughter is the best medicine, they say, but, I'm on tonight because the thing is that, I'm driving up to the airport. I know I probably shouldn't be doing these on the road because, I can do two things at one time, unlike some people around here who can't do one time because they just fucking, crash into a wall all the time or they don't ass. The thing is that, I'm going live on YouTube now is because I'm using a program that I'm gonna have to pay for in a couple of months, or that I'm gonna have to pay for the subscription. Get subscriptions because the thing is, shows to come on Thursday nights on MTV, and then I gotta wait for them to come on demand so that I can watch them again. But I like doing my own show. I love doing my own thing. That's why I always, if I could be happy, just for one day, I would love to. And every day that I am happy, I do this show. I do this, or I play KamoKlauZ. Things that are so vulgar and so bad and everything else. But how do you do it? Anna's cousin. I can't be. And I don't want that. Because there's always somebody out there that you're going to piss off all the time. Whether it's Democrat, Republican, or somebody. There's always somebody out there that you're going to piss off because, one, they're not doing what you're doing and they hate that you're getting paid money for it. They're going to find a way to get you. They're going to find a way to get me one time when I. And so I went through the whole entire thing. And then basically I got down to the last bottle. And I never felt anything different, but I gained a lot of weight and I felt really weird. And I thought maybe I went and had, he said they were caffeine pills. That's exactly all they were. And so basically I took the analyzing data and I sent it back to the company. I said, I spent this much money on, and they're like, where'd you get, or just to basically fucking lie to them. Basically just to fucking lie to him. It was caffeine. And I threw the last bottle out because I didn't want to take them anymore. I was so fucking pissed off. I asked the lady, Bustaro or some shit like that. Or something or another. Since I did the thing on Facebook and told them that it was caffeine pills, they told me to cease and desist. They told me that I had to take down the video. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I deleted it. Oh, dude, I think it would be great a podcast because I want to do them because I think it'd be cool as hell. Because I love doing live. I mean, if Joe Rogan can do it, I can do it. I'd love to be on Joe Rogan's show. I have but respect for Joe Rogan. I love Pat McAfee. All they want closure. And they want somebody to sit down and tell them the truth, the naked truth. And not be scripted. They want the unedited fucking truth. Who's got any fucking balls? They're telling the truth about what's going on in this world. But it makes people are flying a flag from a country that they don't want to go back to and that they don't want nothing to do, but they're just protesting them. Make rolled hot dogs. I've been always telling people, what would be the coolest thing in the entire world? Is if somebody would make a hamburger. Yeah. Make the hamburger dog. Yeah. Take a hamburger and make it into a hot dog bun. 7-Eleven made a thing. It had cheese inside the thing. It basically had cheese inside the thing, so that when you bit into it, it was like a juicy loose. I think that would be like the coolest. So what I do is I take hamburger, and I put it in between my hands and I roll it like this, like I roll it into into a nice, like dog size that can go. I make them all the time. The only reason why I don't show them is because I don't want to give somebody my idea, but here it is. I'm giving it. No one's ever liked my idea, but then they steal it and they do it for themselves, and they get all the Tuttle and Paul Jr. on, Orange County Troppers. I mean, I always talk about God because I'm always like, dude, I would love it if God would, give me a chance. If God could let me ever win and show that I'm actually worth something instead of like, I mean, there are so many people who think that I'm a worthless fuck. Bad person. They drag my name in the mud. I mean, there's so many people that have dragged my name in the mud in St. Cloud that have no idea who the hell I am. And they don't ever fucking understand that I'm just a normal everyday guy who's trying to live his life and enjoy it. I don't want people to hate on people. I hate that. I hate when people hate people. That's what I don't like. I mean, I don't hate on people. I try not to hate on people. It just treat people like you want to be treated. Tell people that you love them. And if they look at you in a funny way, just say, hey, you know what? I love you. And it's not in a way that I want to get something from you or do anything with you. It's just to tell you that I care about the physical you. Like, one day, cool, and she was a great person. And I love that about her. That's what I said. And she totally took it the wrong way. She thought that I wanted to date her. She thought that I wanted, to get with her, sleep with her, do whatever. But no, that's not what I wanted to do. But she took it the wrong way, and she tried to talk to HR. This is back when I worked someplace else. And she tried to go to HR, and HR got on my face. Are you to the point where you're literally going to lose an employee because you think that employee said that he loved her? No, I loved what she had to say. I loved her personality. I loved who she was. But then I basically found out that the girl was just a fucking Karen and a douchebag. And I said, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I hate you now. Because I hate the fact that you took something that who doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. So, that's what it is. That was a girl that worked someplace else, and I don't even really care about it anymore. It was just something that was on my mind. But my final thought is this. I tell everybody to love everybody. Help them, but use caution. Because sometimes they could be, trying to set up a scam. You always got to protect yourself, too. But you always have to help somebody, because if you don't help somebody, you always feel bad. You feel like you could do something for that person. And another thing that we have to do in this world, and we have to do a lot of it, is just stay in our fucking lane. Just stay in our fucking lane and just realize to yourself that if you stay in your lane and you fucking think, that things could be better in a different kind of world if you thought of it, no. It's already been done. If it's broke, fix it. If it ain't broke, leave it alone. But people have to start loving themselves. Somebody said to me that they wanted me to start to understand that I was a better person than just being a narcissist. Well, I don't think that I'm a narcissist. I don't think that I'm a narcissistically good at being myself and knowing that if I didn't come up with it, somebody else did, and that it's their baby. They're allowed to have it. They're allowed to go farther in life. They're allowed to go on and make it theirs. But if, come up with your own music. For some odd reason, I do karaoke a lot, and I like doing karaoke, but I'm not trying to be better than the guy who sang it. No, I'm not. I'm trying to sing the song because I want to prove my skills that I can do something other than just drive a van and sit here and bitch. Because I think I can do a lot of things. I think that I'm a great person. But other people want to call me names and say bad things about me. I mean, people have opinions and people say things that they want to say, but you're bad for having your own opinion. And other people hate that about you. And I don't understand why that is. Their own freedom. And everybody has to find their understanding. So what I'm saying is basically live your life every day like it's your last day on this earth. And if you get a second chance at life, make the most of it. Because you know what? You're probably not going to be around to live it. If you want to be happy, be happy. If you want to be down, be down. But, and if somebody offers you advice and says something to you, take their advice and say, hey, you're absolutely right. Because someday that person who gave you advice might not be around again. Or you might not see them. But sometimes when people say something, take it with a grain of salt. Because you know who you are. You know what kind of a world we live in. Every day is a new day. When the sun comes up and when your eyes open. But sometimes your eyes won't open. And that's time for you to go. So enjoy it. And the one thing is just be grateful. I mean, yeah, I fight with God. But the one thing is, am I really fighting with myself? I mean, be happy and enjoy what you got. Because someday it can be over with just like that. So, y'all have a good night. Talk to you later. Again, Mark, thank you.